Alright, third time's the charm. Hi, I'm Claire and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Firstly, I promise that there is non-wedding related content coming. But the reaction to my last video, which was about why I didn't wear the dress that I said yes to on Say Yes to the Dress, the reality TV show, on my wedding day. The reaction to that video was insane, and the amount of comments that I got asking me to do a video talking about the fact that I actually did buy my wedding dress that I wore on my wedding day on Etsy just meant that I absolutely had to put up this video quick. If you watch a video about why I didn't wear the dress, I said yes, I'll say yes to the dress, you'll know some of this story, but if you haven't watched it, I'll just start from the beginning. The very first time I came across this Etsy seller that I ended up buying my wedding dress from was via a BuzzFeed article. They clickbaited me. They clickbaited me hard. I wasn't even engaged. I actually followed her on Etsy, I think, originally, just Etsy. It's Wardrobe by Dulcinea, and I'm 100% pronouncing that wrong. And it's run by a woman called Ing. Surprisingly, her name is not Dulcinea, which took me a while to get my head around. Followed her then on Facebook and left it at that. You all know that I applied for Say Yes to the Dress. So just before I went on Say Yes to the Dress, I was surfing with my friend Lisa. I logged into Facebook and Wardrobe by Dulcinea had posted a dress. I had been following her for about 2 seasons at this point, and nothing had come up that I was like, I have to have it. So I kind of thought like that I wasn't going to be able to find anything from her. So when I'm on this surfing trip and I'm logging into Facebook, and at some point Wardrobe by Dulcinea pops up on my feed having posted a dress, and the dress is called Dolores. Immediately, I'm like, man, like, that dress is real weird. I actually thought in my head, who would wear that? But that night, when we went to bed, I could not sleep. And I just kept thinking about Dolores. It was keeping me awake, like, I had butterflies. It was like being in love with a dress, which is the weirdest thing I've ever said. At the time, I was like, okay, you know, it's just sticking on my mind because it's so weird, and I have to go to Say Yes to the Dress, and I have to get a dress there because that's the whole point of the show. So I'm just gonna have to get over it. The minute that I didn't go with the Say Yes to the Dress, I was like, Dolores, it has to be Dolores. Now I just want to say, like, buying a wedding dress on Etsy was a simple enough process, but it was a risk. Don't think it's not a risk. It is a risk. It was a bodysuit, right? So it was really, really tight bodysuit, and then it had a puffy tulle skirt. And this is not something that I had ever worn before. I'd never felt the tulle that this designer used. I had never tried on the type of, like, shape of dress. It was a real risk. I definitely think that it paid off for me, but I'm going to take you through, like, the process, first of all, of ordering it. And after it arrived, what I did to it, because I did have to do stuff to it. The process itself is relatively simple. I talked to her about what I wanted, and she said she could do it. Great. So then I ordered it. The cape, by the way, the blue cape, was a really last minute decision. The process was I bought the listing on Etsy, so you buy the product, and then she starts to work on it. I don't think she sent me a spreadsheet. I think I made the spreadsheet. I really like spreadsheets. First of all, she sent me a list of the measurements that she needed, and she sent me a number of videos showing me how to get the measurements that she needed. So it was actually really specific. I know people are like, what you need a video for? So I actually went down to a dressmaker. She measured me exactly as the videos had shown. She didn't even charge me, which I thought was really, really nice of her, and she has had my business ever since. Got my measurements done. I'm super excited. Thank you very much to this place here. I knew exactly what I wanted, so I took pictures of things that were the exact blue that I wanted, and I sent them to her. And then I waited, made the skirt to my measurements, made the top to my measurements, and sent it over to me. So Dolores was pretty much untouched from, like, her original design, which is pretty sick. I just loved the dress as it was, and that's what ended up on my body. I did actually change the cape, so she posted the cape at a later date. I was like, oh my god, I want a cape. So this one had lace on the shoulders, and then it was a tulle cape with a hood. So I just got her to remove the hood because I didn't like the hood. And then she sent me the dress. So the dress arrives folded up in like a big package. The first thing when you open it, there's instructions like to take it out, hang it up this way, you know, let it kind of settle. That was probably the scariest moment of the whole thing. Receiving that in the post in a package, like that was scary, I have to say. Okay, it's really late. I was in bed, but I can't sleep. I actually can't sleep till I open it. Then when I tried the dress on, unfortunately, it didn't fit. I got too excited and I ordered too early. I actually ended up dropping a dress size, so I dropped down to a size 6. But it was fine. I brought it to the woman who measured me in the first place, who had said to me, who'd been very worried about me ordering a dress from Etsy, by the way, and she was like, come in to me if you need anything. So I went down to her and I was like, I actually didn't mean to lose weight, but I did, so can you help me? She made it work. She actually didn't even need to take in the skirt, but what she did was just moved a button so that it closed a bit tighter. I just got my video and photos back from my wedding day, so I'm actually going to use them to illustrate this tale. So the pros and cons of this particular dress are very specific to this dress, and they're not specific to like buying on Etsy or any of that. I really did love the dress, and I think that I got so many compliments with the cape on as well. People were like, man, you look really Game of Thronesy, the red hair and the cape. And I got married in a glamping venue with like loads of like stone everywhere and stuff. Yeah, so I mean, like, literally, come on. For me, the cons of the dress were as follows. First of all, I meant to bring down a fucking skin coloured bra, and what did I forget? The one thing that I forgot was a skin coloured bra. So I only had a white bra, and the side panels went up really high. Now I knew this. This is my fault. I knew this when I bought the dress, and I had on my list to bring down nude bra, and I forgot. We had to get hairpins and put the bra up out of the way, and it actually did work. I'll be honest, like, it did work. I was very impressed. But yes, that wasn't ideal. And I mean, nobody else noticed this. I'm really nitpicking here. One thing about the bodysuit was it got a bit bunched. All I had to do was pull it down like a fraction, and then it would go back to being as tight as it was supposed to be. But unfortunately, I didn't cop this until about halfway through the day. Again, totally specific to that type of dress. Also, I definitely didn't do enough side crunches ahead of the wedding. The week of your wedding, by the way, it's impossible to get to the gym. I did not take the week off work, stupidly, so I was flat to the mat trying to get stuff organised and had no time to go to the gym whatsoever. That left me, in my opinion anyway, a little bit softer on the edges. And again, really nitpicking here, because I'm sure nobody looks at that photo and goes, soft side Clisare. You know when you're really just critical of yourself, like in photos, like overly critical. So yeah. But look, it was a bold choice, right? It was a bold choice to buy from Etsy, and it was a bold fucking choice to buy a dress with the sides cut out, no matter where you buy it from. I'm glad I did it. One or two photos I'm like, but other than that, it was perfect. I did love the blue dress, and I loved, you know, the sort of uniqueness of it, and everyone was kind of like, Jesus, like, where'd you get the dress? And I love the photos. It looks great in photo and video, like, oh my god, it's very striking. I think the risk that I took was very, very worth it. The price point was incredibly worth it. The customer support was amazing. That sounds really like clinical, but like Ing was there for me, like talking to me through the whole process. The only really thing you have to do yourself is get measured yourself, and I would recommend that you do it in a proper dressmaker. Now, a lot of dressmakers, interestingly enough, wouldn't measure me because I wasn't buying a dress in there. So that's the risk you take when you're ordering, like especially a custom dress off Etsy. You know, you don't get to try it on. Like, that's the risk that you're taking. I am glad that I took that risk though. I definitely think it paid off. The price point was so right. Money that I saved on what we thought I would have to spend on a dress budget went towards things like the band, which made the whole thing. Band of smash hits. They were amazing. We were dancing till like all hours. It was amazing. Oh, one more thing actually about the wedding dress was that because it was separate, it's 2 parts, I could swap out the skirt. And what I did was, just the week before the wedding, like literally impulse buy, I was on ASOS and they had a high-low pink tulle skirt for like £50, and I had it in like a shopping bag in behind the bar. We got married on a scorcher of a weekend in Ireland. It was roasting. There's fans everywhere, like people hanging out the windows. The dress did get too hot and heavy for me, so I just whipped it off, put on this £50 like tulle pink high-low skirt, and I danced the fucking night away. I loved that about my dress. Like, I loved that I could do that. And not only that, but the top half of the dress that's a separate, I can wear it again, and I will. So I guess to summarize, you know, the cons are the risk that you're taking. You don't get to try the dress on. You can't really return a custom dress. Pros are the price point, The customer service from this particular seller, I don't know about any other Etsy sellers, was amazing. She was with me talking me through the whole process, and the dress that I got was really different and it was really like unique, I think anyway. And it's given me a great story to like, I bought my wedding dress on Etsy and everyone's like, you bought your wedding dress where? So I would absolutely recommend it. If you're willing to take the risk, go for it. And if I was getting married again, I'd buy a different dress because I'd be getting married for a second time, but I would absolutely do the same thing again. I would 100% buy it on Etsy again. That's not to say I would buy it with a different seller though. And what I mean by that is I did an awful lot of research on Wardrobe by Destinia before I actually bought anything. And that is key to doing this. And the way that I did my research was that I looked through all her reviews. I went through all the pictures on Etsy that people had posted of themselves in the dresses that they received. I went to her Facebook, her Instagram, looked at all of the pictures of the dresses that she had posted, and then all of the pictures in her like customer photos album of people wearing different dresses. The things that I put at the very top in terms of gravitas were Etsy reviews. I thought they were the most important, considering that was her selling platform and that was like where it was all happening. There was so many positive, like there was no negative Etsy reviews. That was when I knew that I was going to buy from her, because I knew that I could trust her. This many people had had a positive experience and I was like, I'm also going to have a positive experience, and I did. So it all worked out. For me. Yay me. So that's the story of, you know, buying a wedding dress on Etsy. I hope that I answered any questions that you may have had on the process. I think that if you're willing to take the risk, it is absolutely worth it, and it will absolutely pay off as long as you've done your research on who you're buying from and the reaction that their customers have had with them. If you're looking for a particular seller to get a custom dress made, I would absolutely recommend Wardrobe by Destinia. Obviously this video is not sponsored. I've just had an amazing experience with that particular Etsy seller, and I was really happy with my dress. I really love it in photos, I really love it in video. I'm really, really glad that I got the dress that I got. Next week's going to be the first video in my new test tube series where I try stuff for a period of time. That's catchy. I can also do more videos about the wedding if requested. I can do a video about why I went with a blue wedding dress, and I also will eventually post my wedding video. So let me know if you'd like to see that on this channel or on my second channel, my vlog channel. Also, an episode of Storytime Podcast went up this week. If you would like to check it out, there's a link down in the description to that channel. It's a YouTube video podcast. Okay, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I shall see you in the next video. Bye. Bye bye. Bye. Bye bye. Bye. Ding ding.